the Cowboys right about now.
Absolutely. That is one of the dominating storylines in Big D, of course, is the quarterback position, in particular Dak Prescott. And we have an update. And I know it's been a while, but there is actually news. NFL Network insider Ian Rappaport reporting Prescott's agent and the Cowboys met in Indianapolis on Wednesday. Now, according to Ian, both sides met as planned. As for head coach Mike McCarthy, he's planning to have Prescott under center. McCarthy telling reporters in Indy Wednesday that Dak is their franchise QB and believes he has a championship pedigree.
I think he's gone off to a great start. He's built a really good foundation. I'm told he's a tremendous leader. So, in my philosophy, as we get with, the personnel department and as we go through that, I mean, the defenses get you to the championship. The quarterbacks win championships, and I definitely feel Dak is that quarterback.
Well, Dallas's next move could include tagging Prescott. NFL Network's Cheetah Batista reporting the franchise tag window opened up and will run for a week. The rules in the current CBA will still apply as players deliberate on their ratification vote. Browns quarterback Baker Mayfield will be undergoing a body transformation. Rap sheet explaining the team's focus is on his fitness. According to Ian, Mayfield's approach heading into last season was to bulk up, but as a result, he lost some quickness. Also, according to Ian, the emphasis will be on Mayfield being faster as well as being in better shape. And the question is, Kyle, is he going to go the route of P90X, Tybo, Thighmaster? How is he going to approach this?
Peleto.
Any advice, Kyle? I mean, you bulked up over the last year or so.
Yes. All I will say is I saw some pictures of Baker, and when your name is Baker, it's very easy for the internet to make fun of you because there's muffins and croissants and stuff.
Yeah.
So, Baker, it's February. You got time, my friend. I would get on the Peloton, though, fast.
Speaking of muffins, Kyle, I made one muffin top joke here on the show, and you turned into Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Make another one. From muffin top to washboard.
Is that what happened? Is that how it went down?
Yeah, I remember that. I was bullied, and then
he
I
was
did
so
something
mad
about
at
it.
me on the show.
Nate had said something since.
I
don't want that
remember
smoke.
It is time to break down the biggest stories surrounding the combine with the round a woulda, coulda, shoulda.
All right, let's do this.
Listen, we're hearing a lot of sound bites out of these coaches. Kyle calls them politicians. They're politicking out there in Indianapolis at St. Elmo's in the hallways and the like. So we've heard from Bruce Arians and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers GM Jason Licht this week about the future of one Jameis Winston with the Buccaneers. One 26-year-old, 5,000-plus yard throwing Jameis Winston. But of course, we didn't really get a super straight answer. It seems like Tampa Bay's weighing their options. Would you be surprised if Jameis remains the starting quarterback for the Steelers, for the Bucs?
Not at all. Bruce Arians came out and said that we could win with Jameis. When you talk to Bruce and you watch some of his systems in the years past, he just wants the quarterback that can sling it, that can throw it downfield. I remember calling that game at the end of the year and talking with Bruce. I said, so what's up with your offense? Like, what do you want out of your quarterback? He said, if he doesn't make the throw, if he hesitates, if he checks it down, even if there's two guys on one of our star receivers, I'm going to yell at my quarterback. Jameis Winston has that. He's not going to hold back. He's going to let it fly. And then more importantly, when it comes to what he sees out there, he got the LASIK surgery, I heard. He also got his thumb fixed on his throwing arm. I feel like all those things could mean Jameis Winston will be back and he'll have a better season. It won't be 30 for 30 like the ESPN documentaries.
I'd be very surprised. Bruce Arians doesn't want someone to sling it. Jameis doesn't need Bruce Arians to tell him to sling it. Carson Palmer, Ben Roethlisberger, Peyton Manning, we're not throwing 30 interceptions a year. Those are Bruce Arians' guys. I come out like this as far as Jason Licht and the Bucs front office.
Yeah.
It's been 5 years. If you are not sure after 5 years, then you are sure. Kate, you and I were there. We went to a game in Tampa. We went to that game that was on Saturday against the Texans.
Forget it.
It was a joke. Like, there was a palpable vibe in the stadium as he's throwing these picks on the first play of the game. I'm like, what are we doing here? Are we a real team?
They were like, this is just what happens. It's what it is. They've accepted it.
It was like gallows humor.
Yeah.
Like, we're just laughing about how bad it is. You can't do this again. 5 years you gave this guy.
You're not intrigued by him, the upside?
Yeah. He's the most entertaining player in the sport.
Somebody can just whittle down those mistakes?
Somebody outside of Tampa.
26. He's only 26.
Only 26, super talented, but no more Tampa. 5 years.
Quickly, LASIK, you're the only one at the table.
I've got it twice.
I know, you've gotten it twice. You weren't here
We're back
the
for
week that this
seconds?
news came out. Does it change? I mean, is it a real storyline here?
It could be. The joke about him is he's always squinting back to Florida State. It changed my life. I'm not even kidding. 2015 vision for a -6 prescription, and I got it 20 years ago. If Jameis comes out and he can see better, yeah, I think it's huge. But I still think the Bucks are seeing 20-20 or 30-30.
All right, moving on to the Combine. We've talked endlessly about the top 2 quarterback prospects in Joe Burrow and Tua Tagovailoa. Oh, I got it right, yes. Expected to be the first 2 quarterbacks drafted. I don't know the order of those 2, of course. There's always somebody who could come in and rise up the ranks after a big performance today in Indianapolis on NFL Network. Could Nate, a prospect not named Tua or Joe, come out of the Combine as a top-rated QB?
I don't see it. Tua has all the intrigue of a guy with potential. We're obviously waiting to see what happens with that injury. When it comes to Joe Burrow, he's the man. We're going to continue to try to hype up different individuals or even pick at Joe Burrow's game, his hand size. All that's nonsense. Those 60 TDs will be the reason why he's going in 60 seconds like Nick Cage.
Angelina.
Yeah,
I absolutely hate poker. I just hate it.
Really?
It's one of the stereotypical dude activities that I don't do. I hate it because I suck at it. I'm terrible. But the guy at the poker table who always kills me is when it goes around, he just goes, check, check. He just keeps checking. He doesn't raise the bet. He doesn't do any of that stuff. Joe Burrow's checking at the Combine because he's in a position of power. He has the hand. He's not playing anything. If he shows up and throws and airmails a few, he'll miss. He could lose his hand. He could go down the draft. He's going to sit there and check all night and have another scotch and be easy. I do want to say something we do with the draft is recency bias. Like, just try to remember what Burrow was like in that national title game.
Unbelievable.
It's a wrap. Tua injured. No, it's a wrap. As we get farther away from it, we're like, his arm size. He was incredible. I don't think anybody jumps.
Well, then would you rather him be out there on the field doing drills tonight? Because when you're asking to be forgotten and sort of in the back of the deck, to use your poker terminology here, when you're not in front of people and all of the hoopla that's in Indy.
You know, Burrow has shown to be a little cheeky on Twitter.
Yeah.
If I was him, instead of throwing, I would just tweet the video of the title game. No, tweet the video of the title game. Be like, here's my workout, everybody. I'll see you in Vegas.
I like that. All right, not bad. Finally, today we will get to see the wideouts run the 40-yard dash. It's the moment we've all been waiting for. We've been drooling about this happening for weeks now, and there's been a lot of debate as to who the best wideout is in this legendary deep class. Should Henry Ruggs III be the first wideout drafted? Let's say if he breaks the 40-yard dash record, which would be pretty crazy.
What do you think, Nate?
We're thinking
if he beats 4.22.
So we're thinking 4.21 or even high 4.1s?
4.19.
Yeah, 4.19. I say absolutely.
Okay.
Listen, regardless of if you want to break down different wide receivers and say one guy might run better routes, one guy has a bigger catch radius, one guy's taller, bigger, stronger, whatever your taste is, when you have a guy like Tyreek Hill doing what he's done over the last couple of seasons, the speed means that there's a need for guys to have individuals like this. And I'm going to break down Henry Ruggs in a Burrow lesson a little later on in the show, and I'll show you exactly why. If he breaks that record with his ability to catch the ball, he will be the first wide receiver off the board.
Hasn't speed taught you, hasn't speed taught us over and over again that it shouldn't be the most important thing when drafting a wide receiver? There's no hesitation with you. To me, he's not as complete as like a CeeDee Lamb or a Judy.
Neither was Tyreek Hill when he first got in the league. And Tyreek Hill, in immediate time, proved to be the most dynamic receiver. So when you're that fast and you can catch, it doesn't matter that you're not as polished because you can learn on the fly. And by fly, I mean faster than everybody else on the field.
What's happening over here?
Talking to the voices in my head as usual.
What's going on?
No, I would not take him number one because of that. I'll get into this later in the show. The list of the top 10 fastest 40s at the Combine of all time is a very sobering list. It is not Julio Jones. It is not Steve Smith. He's a great player. I like CeeDee Lamb better, too. And from what I've heard, Kyler Murray, his former teammate, is openly campaigning for the Cardinals to draft him because he loves him. I think he's the best receiver, not the fastest. However, if he runs in the 4.1s, that changes. Then it's a car. You can't run that fast.
And you have to buy the car.
If you run on the 4.1s, we'll have a different conversation.
When are you doing this cautionary tale on being enamored of the speed?
The second hour.
Okay, I'm into that.
I got good stuff on
I got to see that list. Keep it here for that.
So, will he break 4.2? Will Rich Eisen break 6 seconds?
Okay.
It's always the quest for 5.9. That's what he's going for.
I heard he has a bubble butt now.
What did he run last year?
5.9, or no, 6, right on the dot. He couldn't break 5.9. And I think Daniel Jeremiah was slow with the watch. I really do. He's done it since 2005, Rich. You've seen it. You've loved it. It benefits St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. And you should be part of it. Go to NFL.com/runrichrun. You can donate, but you can also upload a video of you or your children or your family going out in the yard, the park, and run the 40, #RunRichRun, and #St. Jude. And then we might put you on the network. You might be with your family running a 40 on NFL Network.